Y'all, whose kids are these? Whose kids are these? Erika Kirk provided this as proof of where she was September.
Remember I told you that Daddy was working with his friends from heaven to send you presents every day so you always know you're loved? See?
It's Sesame Street.
I know, it's Sesame Street, but all these are for you.
Now that Charlie Kirk's parents finally have proof confirming what they always suspect about Erika, she has reportedly stopped them from seeing the kids. She may even try to get a protective order against them. If you've been following the Charlie Kirk story, you know there have long been rumors that Charlie may not be the biological father of the children he had with Erika. Charlie's parents always believed the DNA test would prove this. What they did not expect, however, was for Erika to completely cut them off before they could even confront her with the results. Instead of talking things out, she allegedly blocked them from the children altogether. Now, Charlie's parents are taking Erika to court. They refuse to let her control the story or have the final word. Because of this, many people are now asking the same question. Did Erika plan to cut them off in the beginning, or is she trying to hide something even bigger?
Of Charlie Kirk's children is not his.
For months, people online have been asking Charlie's parents to get a DNA test done on the kids. At first, many felt this was unfair and even cruel, especially since Erika was a widow who had just lost her husband. But as time went on, Erika's behavior started to raise questions. Her actions began to look more suspicious, and Charlie's parents were finally forced to face something they had been avoiding for a long time. That's when insiders say they seriously began pushing for a DNA test. There's a big difference between a widow moving on after a tragic loss and what Erika was doing. Instead of quietly mourning, she went on what many described as a public grief tour, complete with loud events, music, media appearances, and constant press attention. To Charlie's parents, it looked less like mourning and more like she was celebrating his death. They felt it was deeply disrespectful to Charlie's memory and personally hurtful to them. It was as if Erika forgot that Charlie had parents who knew him, loved him, and supported him long before she came into his life. They were forced to sit back and watch as she turned his death into a public show that seemed more focused on boosting her own career than honoring Charlie's legacy. What upset them the most, however, was how Erika handled the kids. After such a heartbreaking loss, she didn't slow down to be there for them. According to insiders, she quickly handed the children over to nannies and went back on the road. She moved on so fast that it raised a troubling question for Charlie's parents. Was she acting this way because the kids hadn't actually lost their real father? This led to even more doubts. Was the children's biological father still alive and involved in their lives? That question made everything far more complicated. Things became even messier as more information about Erika's past came out. These revelations helped explain why Charlie's parents felt a DNA test was absolutely necessary. Erika had reportedly created a fake backstory to make herself seem like the perfect partner for Charlie. This wasn't just gossip. She has reportedly slipped up and admitted parts of this herself more than once. It wasn't only about hiding her past as a model or reality TV personality. It also involved how she claimed she met Charlie. Over the years, Erika has told different versions of their first meeting. In one story, she said they randomly met while standing in line with her mother at an airport.
Never forget the time I was in Israel with my husband. Well, that was the second time, but the first time with my mother on a pilgrimage. And I was standing in the ticket line, and I remember looking behind me, and in the snake of the ticket line was a guy who looked very familiar. I had no idea who he was. And I told my mom, this guy looks so familiar. And as a typical mother, she said, go and say hi. No, we were late for our flight, and I'm not going to come off like a crazy person with that's just weird. That ended up being Charlie. Nothing is by coincidence. Now, did we know that no, not until we were like 3 months into our relationship and looking at.
In another version of the story, Erika said she was introduced to Charlie by Tyler Bohr, the current CEO of Tpuza. According to her, he wanted to set her up for a job interview with Charlie.
And he just looked at me and he goes, I'm not going to hire you. And I said, I did not need the job. I said, I was fine with consulting with you guys if you needed anything with regard to help. I have plenty of things going on in New York City. He said, I'm going to date you.
She claims all of this happened between 2018 and 2019. However, based on public information, there's a strong chance that Erika already knew who Charlie was as early as 2015, even if he didn't know her at the time. The reason people believe this is because Erika already knew Tyler Bohr back then.
Until I hosted the first Trump rally in Trump rally history right here in Arizona in 2015. I got a call from Miss Erika Kirk, Miss Arizona 2012. I just want to help, she said. So naturally, I put her right behind the president at that first.
On top of everything else, Erika's ex, Cat Phillips, who she was in a very serious relationship with, also knew Charlie. There are photos of Cat and Charlie hanging out together and playing basketball. Because of this, the idea that Erika randomly met Charlie years later never really made sense. Unfortunately, most of these lies only started coming out after Charlie passed away. By that time, Charlie's parents had moved from simply feeling uneasy about Erika to questioning what else she might have been lying about. If she could make up an entire story just to get close to their son, what else was fake? What finally pushed Charlie's parents over the edge was something they could no longer ignore. Erika had claimed that Charlie was her first serious relationship, but in reality, she had been involved with multiple men before marrying him. One of those men was professional baseball player Tyler J.T. Massey. Erika appeared deeply in love with him and openly called him her favorite person, her best friend, and her amazing boyfriend. In an interview with Arizona Foothills magazine, engagement-style photos of Erika and JT went viral. Many people believe they were headed toward marriage before they suddenly broke up. What shocked Charlie's parents even more was an old video that resurfaced showing Erika and JT at a Trump rally with young girls standing between them. The girl looked strikingly similar to JT. This led to speculation that Erika may have already had a family before she ever got involved with Charlie. Even if she didn't have a family with JT, there were still major unanswered questions. Erika went from posting sweet couple dates with one ex to dating and getting engaged to Charlie within a single year. And that ex was none other than Cat Phillips. Cat Phillips later became an important figure at TPUSA. Because of his family connections and political ties, rumors began circulating that he may have been involved in darker situations surrounding Charlie. But the biggest red flag was this. Less than a year before Erika and Charlie got engaged, Cat was posting photos of himself and Erika on painting dates, clearly showing they were dating at the time. Things got even stranger when people noticed that around the same time Erika and Charlie welcomed their first child, Cat also announced that he had a baby. Once people made that connection, it became impossible to ignore the calls for DNA testing. Interestingly, insiders say Erika didn't strongly fight the idea of a DNA test. While she has never directly answered questions about whether the kids are biologically Charlie's, she also didn't react much when Charlie's parents demanded the truth. That silence made it seem like she may have been prepared for this all along. Meanwhile, Erika's supporters, the same fans who defended her when she first went on her public grief tour and left her kid behind, have started backing away. It has become harder for them to justify her behavior. Viral comments now openly call her out, and memes criticizing her spread across social media within hours. The sympathy she once received simply for being Charlie's wife is disappearing fast. You would think that with all this backlash, Erika would slow down and reflect, but instead, she did the opposite. She reportedly doubled down on her public appearances and completely cut Charlie's parents out of the children's lives. They are no longer allowed visits, outings, sleepovers, nothing at all. According to insiders, that was the final breaking point. Charlie's parents are no longer trying to talk things out. They are taking Erika to court. Now, everything Erika tried to run from is catching up to her. Cutting off Charlie's parents didn't make the DNA questions go away. It didn't erase doubts about who the children's real father is. Instead, it confirmed one thing. She never planned for the situation to end quietly. Charlie's parents are no longer just grieving. They are fighting. And once this case reaches a courtroom, Erika won't be able to control the story the way she is online. There will be no filters, no staged silence, and no carefully managed image. Because in court, appearances don't matter. Records do. Dates do. And the truth does. And if the wrong name appears where Charlie should be, this stops being a scandal and becomes something permanent.